One of the favorite saints of Italy is a Christian martyr who has been made popular by the Italian song Santa Lucia. We do not really know very much about her history, but there are many legends about her. Some of these are probably caused by people's tendency to take icons too literally. They miss out on the rich symbolism that usually accompanies the artistic representation of this beloved saint. For instance, she's portrayed as holding a palm branch on the one hand and a plate with a pair of eyeballs on the other hand. The common explanation is the palm frond means she died as a martyr. And the plate of eyeballs, they say most likely she was tortured and that her eyes were plucked out during the time of persecution. Well, in fact, it is supposedly for this reason that she's regarded as the patron saint of those with eye disease. It is this kind of literalism that makes us miss out on the literary, the poetry, the figurative in art. I have sometimes explained icons and images and their meanings to some people. And I have gotten comments like, wow, I have seen that picture or that image or that icon many times before. And yet, I never noticed those details. Well, there are definitely a lot of things that we miss out until someone calls our attention to them and explains their significance, and then we're able to say, ganun ba? Oh, I see. And what we mean is, I understand. Kasi even with open eyes, there are many things that we fail to see, or things we fail to see when we do not understand. The poetry behind Santa Lucia's plate of eyes or eyeballs is a little bit like the song Blackbird by Paul McCartney and what it is trying to say. I'm sure you've heard that song before. It says, "Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free." And this is also what the risen Lord is sort of asking of His disciples when He appears to them, to see reality with a new pair of eyes. And we're not talking about physical eyes here. In most of the stories about the apparition of the resurrected Jesus, the common motif is hindi siya nakikilala. They fail to recognize Him. Well, at least not immediately. Remember yesterday's gospel, the two disciples at Emmaus? They thought He was just a fellow traveler. And it was only after He broke bread with them that their eyes were opened and they recognized Him. Remember Mary Magdalene? She thought He was the gardener. It was only after Jesus called out her name that she realized who it was. Or remember those disciples who were fishing by the lakeshore of Tiberias. They thought He was a beggar asking for fish. It was only after they make the big catch of fish that the beloved disciple cried out and said, "It is the Lord." I therefore wonder if Santa Lucia's icon is not an effort to say symbolically what happened to her life when she encountered Jesus, that she began to see reality with a new pair of eyes. That is what faith does. Seeing is particularly a big issue, especially during times of crisis like this terrible pandemic that we are going through. Our fears and anxieties, our guilts and frustrations and disappointments, our feelings of despair and hopelessness can block our view, can prevent us from seeing God at work in our lives. A few days ago, merong nag-text sa akin na isang journalist. She was asking for my reaction to something interesting that's going on daw sa social media. Sabi nung text niya, "Hello po, Bishop. Did you know that there is a study that shows that in the whole month of March, just this 2021, the topic that was most talked about on Facebook was the topic of faith, pananampalataya. In terms of total engagement daw, the keyword category of faith has ranked number 1 among all the keyword categories already for the second month since February of 2021. Filipinos seem to be using Facebook as a platform for expressing their faith, with other keywords like Quiapo Church, Holy Week, 500th Year of Christianity, and others as the most key words in the social media. Well, obviously, it means a lot of people are now learning to do what they were not used to doing before, like attending Mass daily kahit online lamang. A lot of people sent me an assurance when I lamented and posted, "How long, O Lord?" and showed the empty pews in the cathedral. People texted me and said, "No, Bishop, we're there with you. We follow online. We're there. Imaginin nyo na lang kami." And this is new. You know, people who attend regularly, who listen carefully to the readings. And did you notice that we also flash the readings? Parang for us, hindi sapat yung naririnig nyo lang. Because we know you take the readings seriously. And so, even while they are being read by the lector, pina-flash pa rin sa inyong screen para nasusundan talaga ninyo. And we see that people are following the readings and listen carefully to the homilies. Follow even live-streamed recollections and other similar postings in the social media. Bakit kaya? Well, obviously, because there is so much darkness and confusion around us. People want to be able to look at things and understand. It is already a terrible thing, yung magdusa. Pero alam nyo, merong mas terrible sa magdusa. Much worse than suffering is not being able to see any sense, any meaning, or any purpose to what people are going through. These are really the times when we need faith the most. This is the time to realize faith pala is not just about pietism or religious practices or a set of rules to follow. No. Faith is rather about the capacity to walk confidently even in the valley of darkness, because we're somehow able to discern the direction. Kung saan ba tayo dinadala ng Diyos, where the hand of the Lord is leading us. Brothers and sisters, this is what Easter is about. It is about the reason Jesus teaching us how to look at the world and see with a new pair of eyes. It is about being excited to sing like that little lamb in the Christmas carol. Said a little lamb to the shepherd boy, "Do you see what I see?" Well, if listening to God's word has made you see many things, I wish you be like that shepherd boy, with a little lamb to the shepherd boy, and share and ask, "Do you see what I see?"